SMMA offers don't work anymore in 2024. You have been lied to by Alex Hormozi. Every business owner has been hit with an offer to run their ads with a risk reversal, minimum guarantee, and a pay and results basis. Offers that worked in 2021, 2022, and 2023 have become saturated because everyone is doing them, and therefore in 2024 they don't work anymore. When $100 million offers first came out in August 2021, it was new and exciting. The first agencies who switched over from a basic monthly retainer to an offer beat all of the other agencies who were stuck with the retainer model. If you imagine this visually, 99% of people continued running their monthly retainer model, which worked from 2015 to 2021, but a small group of agency owners, part of the 1%, saw the more effective way of framing their service using $100 million offers, and therefore outcompeted the agency owners who stayed using their traditional retainer model. What's happened over the last 3 years from 2021 to 2024 is that the agency owners who continue to use the traditional retainer model either switched to running an offer or were put out of business by the agencies that switched to doing an offer. The agencies who switched to running an offer took the business of the agencies who were stuck still doing the traditional retainer model because the meta had shifted. They were forced into an adapt or die situation, and now enough time has passed to which I don't think there's any agencies out there who are still running the retainer model successfully. Unless you're an 8 to 9 figure agency where that makes sense, where you have enough track record and results to do that, because everyone and their nan would jump at the opportunity to work with them. But the bad news is, if you're watching this video, you're likely not an 8 to 9 figure agency owner. So you're forced to run an offer that can compete in 2024 because the trad retainer model simply doesn't work anymore. The problem with that now is that everyone is doing it, therefore you have no competitive advantage. So in order to get ahead, running an offer is no longer good enough. You need to do more. This is where I'm coining/naming the term Stuart Chandler's competitive offers. Very prideful, I know. The thesis behind Stuart Chandler's competitive offers is 100 million offers teaches us how to create an offer that is irresistible and differentiated from the competition. But the problem with that is that now there's hundreds of thousands of teenagers running their own marketing agencies. Thanks to Iman Gadzhi, no matter how you slice it, any offer that you create, regardless of the combination, someone out there has already created. Because there's hundreds of thousands of teenagers all running their own marketing agency, the odds of you creating an offer that someone else has not already created is virtually zero. $100 million offers implies that your results/quality of service could be exactly the same as a competitor, but simply with an offer, that is enough to outcompete them. The problem with that now is that no matter how you craft it, someone else has already done it. And not only has someone else already done it, someone else has probably done it better than you. Therefore, in this landscape or market, you could call it, offers are no longer a competitive advantage. They're the bare minimum, or the minimum standard that is needed to even enter into the market. Yeah, any edge that you would have had with an offer is now gone. That's bad news. What Stuart Chandler's competitive offer suggests is that whilst the competition focuses on making the offer better, such as improving the cold outreach scripts or watching Iman Gadzhi videos, we should take all of that time and energy, bundle it up, and put it all into improving the service. In this framework, every minute that isn't spent improving the service is a minute wasted. Whilst the competition is doing anything but improving the thing that they're actually selling the client, your entire focus is improving the service so that when it comes time to doing outreach, it's a walk in the park. When you get onto sales calls, the clients should be selling you on why they should work with you rather than the other way around. This approach, just like $100 million offers, will become saturated. I'm not denying that. But I can see this approach working from now until maybe for the next 3 years until 2027. And just to be clear, at 2027, I'm predicting this approach to no longer work and not have an edge. The best way to describe the average SMMA owner nowadays is someone who is polishing a turd. They have a service which underperforms KPIs set with the client, gets them poor results, and makes them feel burnt out after working with them when the business owner thinks about working with agencies in the future apart from them, so they completely burn them out from the agency owner experience. Then they spend their time doing anything but improving their service. They improve their scripts or learning new sales tactic to use on their next meetings. My point is they do everything they can to actually avoid improving their service. Why they do this, I don't know. It's probably something to do with the fact that, in fact, I'm certain that improving the service is the hardest part of running a business. Therefore, this behavior phenomenon can be explained through pain avoidance. The agency owner is avoiding the pain of improving their service by doing tasks which are shiny and therefore aren't painful, not moving the needle in the process. No matter how much they attempt to polish a turd, the turd will always be a turd. If you feel like you can relate to this or know someone else who can, then that's perfect, because it's probably you that this applies to, and myself. I'm not perfect. I'm just saying that if you feel like a weird feeling in your stomach when I say that, then it's probably you who I'm talking about, who is trying to polish a turd, right? And I'm guilty of this too, so no one's perfect here. If you feel slightly weird when I'm talking about that, as in it can relate to you, then, well, that's great, because we've identified the problem and now we can work on it. To me, how I see it is that improving your sales call script or your cold calling script is simply just polishing the turd. Instead, they should be putting all their focus on how they can get to a point of where they're polishing a golden turd. And then after that, all their focus could go on to how they should be polishing a diamond turd. And then after that, there's no more levels. There's nothing stronger than diamond. Once you have an offer that is made out of diamond and it can't get any better, that is the point that you can spend time doing outreach and finding the best script for it. When your service is good enough, outreach is easy. When you focus on improving your service, every other problem in your business disappears. Therefore, instead of trying to solve your outreach problems when you have a poor service, take your service from poor to great and your outreach problems will be solved. You're killing two birds with one stone by doing this. I'm not oblivious to the fact that if you have a great service and you don't market it, no one will know about your product or even how good it is. Therefore, I'm not denying that no matter how good your service is, if you don't do outreach, no one will know you exist. And therefore, even outreach in the form of word of mouth or sending cold Instagram DMs or people coming to you through, inbound systems, through YouTube videos and stuff like that. I'm not denying that if you don't do any of those forms or inbound or outbound, then you can have the best service in the world, you're never going to get a single client. As part of the competitive offer framework, they have to exist together. But in terms of the foundations of the framework, the foundation is the service, and then the outreach is in any form, whether that's inbound or outbound, is built on top of that. So I'm not denying that you can have the best service in the world, but if you have no system for getting people through the door, then you're not going to grow, or you're not going to have any clients. So just because you could have the great service in the world, I could be locked in this room and I can have the best service in the world, I'm the most skilled at Facebook ads, but if no one knows that I exist, then I'm not going to be working with anyone. So the point of the competitive offer framework is to make your product so good when you get round to doing outreach, it becomes effortless. Many people are completely oblivious to this and they don't realize that potential clients are receiving hundreds of cold calls per day and hundreds of cold emails per day. I'm not exaggerating when I say hundreds per day, from teenagers who watch Iman Gadzhi who are pitching them on their marketing service. If you think I'm exaggerating, ask one local business person in your area who has a presence on social media or any online presence with a website with their email on it or their phone number linked. If they have a Instagram, ask them about the DMs they receive. If they have a website, ask them about the emails and cold calls that they receive. And simply ask them, and be very specific when you ask them to standardize this. Ask them how much that they're being outreached to across all platforms, including all the ones that I previously listed, so that they may have a phone listed on their Instagram, but they don't have their email listed, therefore they're not going to have any outreach on email. So ask the overall numbers, and you'll find that they are being outreached to by hundreds of teenagers who follow Iman Gadzhi. Literally. When you think about it, let's be conservative and say 100 out of the 4.5 million people who watch Iman Gadzhi. All it takes is 100 of them to use the exact same follow-up sequence, the exact same email script, the exact same cold call script on the same business owner, and that business owner has been exposed to the same outreach script 100 times, and by that point he would have become numb to it. If you see something every day or you just become used to it, you eventually over time become numb to it. And this business owner who has received the exact same outreach script from, like I said, a conservative 100 people out of Iman Gadzhi's audience 100 times, they are going to realize, hey, something's off here. And every time they receive that outreach script, unless it's modified slightly, but still you can modify it by 10%, but the average business owner is pretty savvy and they'd realize that it's been modified, they, as soon as they see it, they just blank. It's like their eyes glaze over and they ignore it. I don't think people have truly realized the scale and the amount of people who are outreaching to business owners, pitching SMMA offers on a daily basis. It is more than you think, unless you are actually in the space and know what you're talking about, then you know exactly what I'm saying. But the odds are it is way more than you think, by times 10. They are being flooded with the exact same offers and guarantees over and over again. Many business owners are actually sick of it now. If you imagine you have a business email and you just want to do, you're a farmer, let's say, and you want to use your business email to connect and talk to suppliers, other farmers, get business deals, even talk to customers, and your inbox is being flooded per day with hundreds of emails pitching agency offers from Iman, you're gonna be pretty annoyed. Back in 2017, it was not like this. They would just have the odd agency owner maybe 2 or 3 times a week outreaching to them. But now it is literally hundreds per day. So on average, if we had 2 people outreaching to them a week, let's say, and now it's 500 a week from Monday to Friday, and now if you do the maths, it's 500 times a week from Monday to Friday, and some crazy people who do it on Saturday and Sunday, they're going to be pretty annoyed. But back in 2017, it was manageable when Iman was growing his agency. Right? Back in 2017 when this worked. So now the only way to get ahead when running an agency is to have the best product / service. And the way to do this is spend every single second / brain cell working on it, forgetting about outreach, and then only touching outreach once your service is the best on the market. Don't get me wrong, offers are important. If you don't, you will always be outcompeted by someone who does. But the message here is that it's no longer enough to just have an offer. We need to go beyond that and have a great product / service. The offer is simply the wrapping, and the product / service is what is inside. We focus 100% on the product until it meets the requirements to beat the competition. And then we focus 100% on the offer, and then after that we focus 100% on outreach. In the context of running a Facebook ads agency, it has become a race to the bottom, for which agency can offer the best guarantee for the lowest cost. The approach here is to wait before you even consider doing outreach or making an offer. You spend all of your time perfecting your craft, grinding, and spending all the time in the trenches on your service so that no competitor can get your clients the results that you can, because you spend all that time in the trenches studying and grinding, making the service as good as it possibly can be. Therefore, no competitor can get the same results that you have made from having the service as good as it possibly can be. If you can get them a great return on ad spend in context for the client, they will work with you regardless of your offer. The saturation of the agency space means that clients only care about results and nothing else. Your competitor may have a fancy offer, but if you can get them the best results, you will win. To get the best results is going to take you doing things that your competitors simply aren't willing to do. And that's the painful work, because it forces you outside of your comfort zone, which makes them grow, and what is painful about it is that growth. If you can get comfortable sitting in the discomfort / pain of doing the hard tasks, which help you make leaps and bounds in your growth towards mastery of the service that you provide, you will quickly become the best. In this scenario, you're not competing against a sea of agency owners that you may think you are, from the fact that it's everywhere now and it's become mainstream. To be very clear here, you are only competing against the agency owners who are willing to face the pain. It's most often the case that the work that progresses the needle the most when moving towards mastery is the work that is also the most painful. So to become the best, you're only competing against those who are willing to do the tasks that everyone else is avoiding. And then at that point, it becomes a competition between them on who can work the smartest and hardest. Your IQ / how smart you are really can't change. So if you're dumb like me, you can outwork them by working 12 hours a day non-stop, only doing the tasks in the business which you know will move the needle the most, allowing you to master what it is that you do. The reason why this is a broad explanation is because I don't know who you are or what you do. I don't know what service you provide with your agency. I don't know whether it's Facebook ads, TikTok ads, or AI services. It really doesn't matter. The point is, it's broad because I don't know what services you as an agency owner provide. To make this concrete, if you're running AI services, it's easy to watch YouTube videos on how to create a voice flow chatbot, but going out there and asking 100 business owners face to face exactly what they would want from a chatbot, and then digging deeper on each point, referencing your existing knowledge to probe and figure out exactly what solution you could create for them, is the hard work that other people are not willing to do. There's 1,000 other agency owners who are competing for the same client as you, but only 1% of them are willing to do the hard work that propels them towards mastery. So really, you're only competing against 10 other agency owners. And if you're smart, you can outplay them, but if you're dumb like me, and if you're smart, go ahead, you can outplay them, but if you're dumb like me, you can outwork them by the amount of hours that you put in. If your goal is to become the best in the world at TikTok ads, you need to sacrifice as much as you can towards that goal. And the more you sacrifice, the faster and more exponential your progress towards that goal will be. After that, we should have a service which is one of the best on the market for a potential client to pick from the sea of agency owners. So yes, what Alex Hormozi teaches in $100 million offers is good, I'm not denying that, but that is the exact same book that our competition is reading, therefore it's impossible to get an edge. Just think about it, if every single one of our competition is reading the exact same book, and then you go and read that book, and you think you're going to gain an edge when everyone else from the sea of agency owners is what I'm calling it, what makes you think you're going to gain an edge? You're not. Just think about this logically, right? An edge is you doing something that gives you an advantage in the marketplace over other agency owners who are not doing that thing, therefore, towards what? The goal, right? An edge is an advantage you have towards a goal. The goal is signing with a potential client. The client, from their perspective, is looking out on a sea of agency owners. Just imagine 1,000 people standing there, like I said earlier. 10 of them are only willing to do the work, but when you actually break it down, if everyone is, if anyone is doing, the same principles that Alex Hormozi teaches in $100 million offers, everyone matches and you don't stand out anymore. It just becomes a bare minimum. So what we need to do now in 2024 is build on top of what $100 million offers teaches, because it is good, but we need to make a new and improved version. We need to use the competitive offer framework, which is built around our competitive service. So first we need to look at how we're structuring an offer for a AI service agency, let's say. Firstly, we need to focus on the desires of our current client avatar. They're being kept up at night, not being able to pay the bills for food, bills, and necessities. Instead of selling the business owner on the AI chatbot, instead sell them that the AI chatbot is more efficient at converting prospects who've shown interest in booking a meeting from Instagram DMs onto a call. Therefore, he'll double his revenue, and therefore he'll be able to afford his food, necessities, and bills. Instead of pitching the AI chatbot, we're pitching the fact that the AI chatbot will be able to pay his bills, foods, and necessities. You should link the result that you're selling the client back to the desire that is being fulfilled from achieving the result that you're selling on. In 2024, we want everything and we want it now. Humans are wired for instant gratification. Think of Amazon, Netflix, and McDonald's. If we can shorten the time it takes for a client to get the same result by working with us as it does with working with a competitor for the exact same result but less time, they will end up working with us, simply because we can get them the exact same result but much faster. Having the result that is going to help the client achieve their desires isn't enough on its own, and it doesn't really mean anything without the time that it's going to take attached to it. It leaves it very vague and open. It could take you 100 years to get them a result, and by that point they'll be dead, so the results that you can get them won't matter. When you pair them together, that forms the foundation of the offer, the results that you're going to get them, and the time it's going to take you to get them there. If you're no different from your competition, there's no reason for them to work with you. Therefore, your strategy has to be new. The reason why this works is because as humans, we love things that are new and exciting. Humans love novelty. If the business owner has had a bad experience with other agency owners and you look exactly like them in the service that you provide, they will associate you with their bad experience and not work with you. Therefore, we have to stand out and not be camo in the sea of teenagers who watch Imangadzi. A way we can do this is by making the strategy and the thinking behind it something that the client has never seen before. If you pitch it as a new strategy that only you know about, it instantly implies that it will give you an edge over your competition. Therefore, in the minds of your clients, they are working with the winners by working with you. And this only works if you have your own way of getting them the same result, or maybe you're doing the same thing that your competition are doing, but phrased differently, structured differently, have a different thinking behind it, use different words and phrases. That will be enough to separate you, and therefore it will imply that you have an edge over your competition who are really doing the exact same thing. The next thing is to have a guarantee. Most agency owners get nervous when it comes to creating a guarantee. They either have an unrealistic guarantee and get in trouble with the client when they don't reach it, with the client wanting their money back, or they set a guarantee that isn't achievable enough. When they get in trouble, the client wants their money back, they want a refund, or they set a guarantee that isn't competitive enough, with other agency owners offering better guarantees as a race to the bottom of people constantly trying to one-up each other to offer the best guarantee. Therefore, for the agency owner's perspective, it's a race to the bottom. The biggest problem here is that they offer a massive guarantee, therefore clients sign with them, but because they simply can't fulfill that guarantee, they get into trouble. The other problem here is that the agency owner simply isn't good enough at what they do. So it's not that they offer a guarantee that they can't fulfill and then they get into trouble. It's that they want to be realistic and offer a guarantee that they can fulfill, but they aren't good enough, therefore they can't offer a guarantee that will be competitive with another agency owner who is the best in the market. They're just not good enough yet. This could be against another agency owner who has followed my competitive offer framework that I laid out at the beginning of the video, therefore is so good that they have the confidence to offer a obnoxiously good guarantee because they have the confidence to back that up, and therefore they never have a sleepless night or are worried about getting into legal battles with the client, because no matter how bold the guarantee may be, they know that they can always fulfill it one way or another. Therefore, the agency owner who can offer the best guarantee and back it up and fulfill it will always win. When you offer a groundbreaking guarantee, the client will always feel comfortable going into the deal because they know that even if you can't fulfill what you've promised on your end, they have no risk on their end. From their perspective, it's reversing all the risk onto the agency owners and giving them all the reward as the clients. When you have all four of those components of the competitive offer framework, you should never have any problem when creating an offer. You can only build an offer/framework like this when your offer is the best in the market for your potential clients to choose from. Making this sort of offer comes with a lot of confidence that you need to back it up. If you can't, you will get into trouble. Hopefully you can see here that when creating the offer, it all starts with the product/service that you're selling them. Bringing this full circle in 2015 to 2021, it used to be enough to have no offer and just a product/service. Then from 2021 to 2023, it used to be enough to have a product/service paired with a solid offer. Now you need the product/service to be the best on the market to build an offer on top of that. It all starts with a foundation of how good your product/service is at getting the result for your potential client, and then everything else is built on top of that. When building a house, you always start with building the foundations first, with the concrete set in the ground, and then you build up from there. It used to be enough not to have the best product/service on the market. Now in 2024, it all starts with the foundation of having the best product and service in order to compete. Nothing else matters. It starts there, and then everything else is built on top of that. It used to be good enough in 2015 to 2021 to build a house with no foundations as your entire business, but now the business needs solid foundations in the form of the best product and service determined by the results you can get the clients. Okay, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I think the takeaways here is that the landscape is changing. Tectonic plates shift in the world and countries move over time, and the business space is a very fast moving space, and the online digital world is the fastest moving industry that there ever has been with AI and all that stuff. And to think that what worked 3-4 years ago will work now is foolish, right? So especially with more and more people getting into the specifically business space in the already existing niche and fast growing industry that this is of the online space, it's foolish to think that things have stayed the same, and what worked to get the same result even a year ago is working today, and what is working today to get the best results will work in a year from now, and the market won't expect more from you, and the expectations will not shift higher. That's the summary of this video, really. I gave you the breakdown of what worked in the past, what is working now, and how to future-proof yourself a bit with the making your offer as best as it can at the end of the video. So you have all the tools here to go ahead and make the implementations that will keep you in business until 2027. Maybe I'll need to make an updated video in 2027 when the marketplace shifts and changes again. We'll come back to it then. But for now, until then, we can still afford food and V-Bucks on Fortnite. So yeah, good news, boys. We can still afford V-Bucks. Let's go. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.